So now that we know what the role of a PM is and what their responsibilities are, what does a PM actually do day to day? Now, I think I should be upfront with you. PMs have a huge variety of tasks they might do. At some point in your career, you should probably expect to do all of them, but luckily, PMs tend to focus their days and weeks on just a few types of tasks at a time. I think the best way of explaining this is to introduce the concept of a product lifecycle, because what a PM does really depends on where the product is in its development journey. Now, modern product development doesn't follow a linear structure, but to understand the PM role better, it's helpful to explain activities by what phase the product is in. In reality, and especially if a PM is overseeing multiple products, the phases of the product lifecycle will often overlap or occur out of order. Every company is going to be a little bit different in how they do things. Now, I like to call the product lifecycle the 6 Ds: discover, define, design, develop, deliver, and debrief. All products are going to start with an initial idea. It might be something you come up with, a tip from a VP, or a request from a customer. So starting with discovery, your goal is to take the initial idea and expand your understanding of the customer's problems and goals. Common tasks in this bucket include reading through feature requests, interviewing customers, analyzing product usage data, looking at competitors, and even holding brainstorming sessions. Next is called define. In this phase, you're deciding what the scope of the problem actually is and what success actually looks like. You're narrowing down the problem to a specific feasible slice and writing down specific requirements for the design and engineering teams to work off of. You'll also be showing how your product fits into the broader strategy of the team. Common tasks in this bucket would include prioritization of discovered problems, defining success metrics, and drafting a roadmap. We're going to talk about all these things, so don't worry. Up next is design. In this phase, you're exploring solutions and validating your ideas with real people. Once you've scoped your problem, you should lead the team in being expansive about how you plan to solve it. And this doesn't necessarily mean building a new product. It could be putting a new process in place or even just developing better documentation. Remember, what's most important is the outcome that's achieved, not that you built a new product, right? So this phase is all about validating idea before you implement it. This could include writing a specification, negotiating dependencies with other teams, or performing usability studies. And this leads us to develop. And in this phase, we're turning the idea into a working product. Oftentimes, this means a software engineering team is writing code to build the product. PMs still lead those efforts, but most of the work in this phase is done by specialists. Creating stories and tickets for engineering teams, performing quality assurance for new features, and communicating progress is some of the things you'll be doing in this phase. This brings us to the deliver phase, which is when you actually provide your product to your customers. Sometimes changes are delivered quietly, like minor fixes, and others will have a full marketing campaign behind them. This phase is all about coordinating the launch of the product and making sure the communications are clear and appropriate. Common tasks would include working with launch partners on content and general launch readiness, ensuring customer support is trained on how to support new features, training salespeople, and of course, and maybe most importantly, celebrating with the team when the launch is done. And then finally, we arrive at debrief. This is the phase where you measure the outcomes of your work, identify learnings and improvements, and share your findings with the broader team. In this phase, you'll be running retrospective meetings, analyzing the launch metrics, reading customer feedback and reviews, and sharing the results with the executives. So there you have it, the product development lifecycle as told through the 6 Ds. As you can see, PMs might have the most variety of actions they do compared to any other role. And in my opinion, this is one of the things that makes the job so rewarding. It's fun to be challenged with different tasks and see projects through from start to finish. Now, some of you might feel overwhelmed by the diversity of the tasks, feeling like you have to be an expert on all of them before you can even start. But not to worry, PM skills are often learned over years of practice, often on the job the first time you have to do them.